I'm Akash Sharma. Everybody knows me as Cash. I have been in the BTR industry for 6 years. Prior to that, I started my career in the army. I joined the Royal Artillery back in 1994, a long time ago now. I did a commando course, was a commando for a few years, and then specialised and went into special ops for a couple of years. Always wanted to be a police officer ever since I was young, and actually I joined the army because the police turned me down initially and said I was too young, go and get some life experience. So because my parents, my father originally emigrated from the Fiji Islands, and most Fijians back in the 60s, because Fiji was a British colony at that time, they joined the British Army and they came to the UK via the army route. And because Fijians turned out to be very effective soldiers, there was a big recruitment drive to get Fijians into the army in the 60s, and that's how my dad got here. So when I kind of got rebuffed by the police, I was a bit disconsolate, and I went to my dad and he said, look, you're really fit, why don't you join the army for a few years and then try again? And that's exactly what I did. So it was almost a route into the police. And I enjoyed my time. Obviously got lots of life experience in the army, toured multiple locations across the world, did operations, particularly in the last couple of years when I went to special ops, and then I made a decision to leave and join the police, and I got straight in, and I really excelled in the police, became a detective, and really enjoyed that. Unfortunately, I went through a divorce, had a couple of young children, and a detective's life is quite it's quite rigorous, and it's not conducive to a young family. So I decided to leave and kind of regroup and figure out what I wanted to do, and that's when I ended up in BTR almost accidentally. Just took a job just as a kind of filler, part-time, and then found that actually my skills were really transferable, and then I was offered very quickly the full-time role, and my directors wanted me to take over the whole BTR project at Hayes, which was their first. So I did that and ran it for 5 years, and actually won a lot of awards. Brought the complex, put it really in the spotlight, considering it was quite a low-level BTR development with 119 units. So kind of found my forte, and I think for a lot of people that come from different industries, for example, the military or the police or whatever else, it's all about how you deal with people, and it's about your relationships with people, your rapport, understanding different people's needs, being able to be reactive, and compassionate and empathize with people. And I think actually, initially I thought that I was at a disadvantage because I didn't have a property background or an estate agency background, which is where a lot of the people were coming from. I've actually realised as time goes on that was actually an advantage, because there was a lot of bad habits and mindsets that came from these type of disciplines, particularly lettings estate agencies, all that kind of stuff, that actually didn't fit with the vision that APO had. And I think the vision that a lot of BTR projects have is really focusing on the living experience of the people that are coming in, understanding communities, understanding cultures, and being able to blend them into a professional community that we have here at Q, and to allow them to express themselves and to enjoy their lives with us. And that is a very difficult balance to strike sometimes. And I think traveling around the globe, from Afghanistan to Colombia to policing London for over 10 years, has helped me understand, and has inadvertently honed my skill set to have a community that is from every corner of the globe, and to be able to bond and rapport build with all of these people. So so that I think I was lucky in the way that my skills transferred quite smoothly. I think give it a try. I think give it a try and be brave. It's always, I know what it's like to be institutionalized. I was, in a certain industry for close to 20 years. It's difficult to break out of that, that institutionalized kind of thinking. But it's really rewarding, and it will utilize your skill set so well. And there's such a progression. There's a real allowance for progression within the BTR industry, just because of how much is expanding and how short there is of really good skill sets, like the ones that come from good army personnel and good police personnel, who can come here and really use their process-driven mindset, coupled with their understanding of people. And that's actually exactly the type of people that we need within this industry.